Machiavelli Mills TV. So I'm watching Shakur Stevenson on Sway in the Morning, right? Now, Shakur is a boxer, and he's a young upcoming fighter from Brick City, Jersey, New Jersey. And he's talking about how he feels like he's ready to fight Lomachenko, and he feels like he can defeat Lomachenko. So I look in the comment section, and it's guys in there like, I can't wait till this kid gets humbled. I can't wait till this kid gets humbled. He needs to be humbled. And whether you feel like Lomachenko, he's ready for Lomachenko or not, that's besides the point. Personally, I don't think he's ready for Lomachenko. Shakur is a great fighter. He's definitely talented. He's going to be a great fighter of his time, but I think he needs to ease into that fight. But nonetheless, I notice people always it's always expectation for black fighters to be humble. Like they got to be overly humble. Like you got to be overly humble and overly gracious all the time. Now, Shakur is not, again, when fighters say things like that, they're not being cocky and arrogant. What they're saying is they have confidence in themselves to say that, you know what, I feel like I'm the best fighter out here, and I feel like I have what it takes to beat the top guys. And there's nothing wrong with feeling like that. But for some reason, I notice this a lot. It's always like black fighters always have to be super gracious. Like, you know what? And it's, first of all, it's unrealistic in a fight game. It's super unrealistic, and I know there are some guys that are like that, but it's super unrealistic, and it's not a lot. And here's why: the sport, physical combat against another man, it's unlike any other type of sport. You're engaging in combat, in a war, a physical war with a fighter, using your fist to knock a fighter out and hurt him. So your bravado has to be high at all times, all times. Without self-confidence, nobody would accomplish anything in the sport of boxing. Nobody. So it's like when you're engaging in combat, going in there, you're not gonna say, you know, I really hope I can beat that guy. I really hope I can beat that guy. I hope I can come out on top. I'm not sure if I'm gonna win. I'm not sure, but let's hope for the best. No, a fighter's gonna go in there and say, you know what? I know I have what it takes. I work my butt off. I've honed my skills over the years to prepare for these type of wars, and I feel like I will come out victorious when I come and fight that guy. That's what they're gonna say. They feel like they're gonna say things like, I feel like I have what it takes to beat him. I know I have what it takes. We train hard all the time, and I know that I'm gonna defeat that man. That's what a boxer is supposed to say. But it's like people always expect black fighters to always. It's like to the point where it seems like you want him to be cowering to an opponent. Like you want him to cower to that opponent, or you want him to seem docile. And that's not real. It's not. I promise y'all, a good amount of self-belief or self-confidence can help a lot of fighters out. Like it helps a lot of fighters out. They have to be in the mode, the dog time, like that dog mode. They have to. If not, they're gonna get crushed in the ring. So it's this weird expectation, like and I even watch it with the Charlo brothers, right? Now, I understand there's a fine line between being confident and there's a fine line between confident and being ignorant. Adrian Broner crosses the line to being ignorant a whole lot. So I understand you coming from that point. Like, look, Adrian needs to chill out. He's way too over the top. He's too ignorant. He's too wild. Yes, he says some wild, obnoxious things. So I understand that. But when you got guys like the Charlo brothers that's just confident in winning, that's confident in their abilities, that want to take fighters out because at the end of the day, they want to rise to the top ranks, why does that have to be so, like, why does that have to come off to y'all as arrogance? Like, why is that arrogant that he wants to beat this guy and he feels like he can beat him and he can best him any day of the week? Why is that arrogant? Like, I don't understand that. Like, now again, I didn't like the exchange between him and Danny, what's my boy name? Danny Jacobs, right? Him and Danny Jacobs and Jamal and Danny Jacobs was going at it, and Jamal's homeboy on the side talking mess. I'm like, bro, shut up, because Danny will knock you out. Like, I don't like that part. But him and Danny going back and forth, that's perfectly fine. That banter is perfectly fine. But why do they have to come? Why do they have to be assholes to y'all? Because they're not kissing their opponent's feet. And basically being, they feel like black fighters sometimes have to be unsure of themselves or like docile. And if he's unsure of himself, you're gonna say, you know what, this guy ain't ready. This guy, he ain't got what it takes because he don't have that dog mentality. So it's like, that's the problem with it. And this is the thing too, because I see other fighters, right? I see Tyson Fury cocky and arrogant as ever. I seen a Conor McGregor cocky and arrogant as ever. Now I know there's people that don't like them guys, but a lot of those guys were celebrated and cheered for their antics all the time, and were praised, and maybe because you feel like they were fighting top competition or whatever, but it's like they get praised for that type of stuff, and then you look at the black fighters and it's like, oh, he needs to be more humble. I saw with Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, one of the most humble fighters out here, one of the most gracious men out here, a survivor of cancer. When he was getting ready to fight Canelo Alvarez, right? And he said, you know, I have what it takes to beat Canelo. I know I can, and I know I will be victorious. I know that I will shock the world, and I know that I will come out on top, and Brooklyn will come out on top. You have people in the comment section like, I used to like Danny, but now he's arrogant. Now he's basically an ass. Now, I don't know where this arrogance is coming from with Danny. Like, shut up. Shut up. Just because a fighter is confident in themselves does not mean that they're arrogant. Does not mean that they just obnoxious and all of that. Like, relax. For real. And again, Danny is one of the most gracious and humble fighters out here. And when you look, people looking at Danny, when he was fighting Canelo, oh no, the rhetoric changed. Oh, he's arrogant now. I don't like him now. Because he's going to go up against your favorite fighter, and you don't want him to say that he can beat your favorite fighter. Get out of here. That's unrealistic. I have fighters that I'm fans of. When guys say they can beat Deontay Wilder, I don't get pissed. Why? Because they're supposed to feel like that. For real, they're supposed to feel like that. Seriously. Mikey Garcia felt like he could beat Errol Spence Jr. That Errol's my guy, but Mikey was supposed to feel like that. Even though we know after the fight we saw it wasn't true, but he's supposed to feel like that. I'm not going to get mad because he say that. I'm not going to say, oh, he's arrogant, he's cocky. Like, no, like, he's supposed to feel like he can beat that guy. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, again, confident, this is the thing, too. And I see in black fighters, man, especially in black fighters, the confidence in them comes out, in every fighter, though. In every fighter. The confidence in these fighters comes off as arrogance, right? To a lot of people. But it really comes out to a lot of people with black fighters. Like, they feel like, because a lot of black fighters have the inner city bravado, the hood bravado attached to them, because that's where they were honed, that's where they were cultivated. So they have a little inner city swagger in them, and they're like, oh, look at it, arrogant and look how cocky he is and all of that. Like, shut up. Like, for real. For real, he don't have to, the black fighters don't got to kiss their opponent's feet before they fight, and they don't have to be, you know, bowing down to them and oh my God, you're such a great fighter. I'm so blessed and honored to fight you. Like, listen, they say, look, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate the fact that you're willing to step in the ring with me to give me this opportunity, but I'm going to defeat you. I'm going to beat you. I've trained hard enough. I've honed my skills over these years. I've sparred with guys that fight like you, and I'm confident that I can stop you from doing what you do best. I can neutralize your best attributes. That's how a fighter is supposed to feel. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. But for some reason, I feel like black fighters always get that look like, oh, he's not humble enough. He's not humble enough. He's not humble enough. Like, look, man, young Shakur, Shakur is supposed to feel like that. Shakur is supposed to feel like he can beat Lomachenko. He's supposed to feel like he can beat Tank. He's supposed to feel like he can beat all these top contenders and top champions out here in his weight class. Why? Because if you dare to be great, you cannot sit back and just be like, be unsure of yourself. You have to be confident. You got to move in confidence, right? You have to be assured in who you are and your abilities to ascend to that next level. If you're not, you get eaten like food. The fight game is dog eat dog, man. Shark versus shark. If you jump in that shark-infested waters and you a guppy, you gonna get swallowed alive. So all of this, you know, black fighters got to be like this. Black fighters got to be more humble and gracious. Like and they don't say that, but I see who they say it for. Like saying it for Charlo. When Errol Spence was fighting Mikey, oh, Errol's too cocky now, and Errol feels like he can beat Canelo. Whether you feel like he can beat Canelo or not, why shouldn't he be up for that challenge? That's what you want to see in boxers, right? You want to see guys challenge themselves. You want to see guys move up in weight. Y'all want to see Errol move up in weight so bad. Why shouldn't he believe that he can take on Canelo and beat him? Why shouldn't he? Whether you feel like he could, he can't. Whether you feel like he can or can't. Why is it being arrogant? Why is it being so cocky? And he's being an asshole if he feels like he can beat Canelo. What is wrong with that? And again, Fighters have to be in alpha mode at all times in a fight game. At all times. Except when they outside of the ring, when they with their family and with their friends. When they in confrontation with a fighter, when they in press conferences, like for real, at the weigh-in, in the ring walk, they gotta be in alpha mode. If not, they're gonna get ate alive. Like all this feeling like you gotta bend over backwards to appease the fans and make the black fighters gotta always bend over backwards to appear more humble all the time. Like, chill out, relax. Like, I hate that. Because I remember when I used to watch Floyd, right? When Floyd was still fighting. And his uncle Roger Mayweather was his trainer. And people used to always say, I don't like Roger. And the Floyd Mayweather haters used to always say, why Roger gotta cuss like that? Why he gotta say those type of things about the opponent to Floyd? When he in the corner talking to Floyd, he would say things like this, and y'all forgive my language because I'm trying to stop cursing, for real. But he would say things like, you breaking that hoe down. He ain't shit. He can't mess with you. That father, he can't fuck with you. He ain't on your level. He ain't on your level. You whooping his ass. He's supposed to say things like that to keep Floyd in alpha mode. If Floyd is to deviate from alpha mode, he's not gonna win the fight. And Roger knows that. So Roger was always trying to let Floyd know to be in control and to be a dog in that ring, because that's how you're going to be victorious. Being a dog in your mindset, along with the skills and abilities that you have, will take you to the top. And he knew that when Floyd was in distress or something. And I've really seen Floyd in a lot of distress, but when a fighter was like starting to come on, Roger be like, man, look, he can't fuck with you. He can't beat you. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. Ain't nothing he do that's better than you. And he would say those things to keep Floyd inspired, to keep him in dog mode, to know he can beat whoever stepped in front of him. Period. That was what he said there for. That is what he said there for. And this expectation that black fighters always got to be super, super humble, y'all got to cut it out. Cut it out. Like, y'all want them to be so, it's to the point where y'all want them to be docile. Y'all want them to be, y'all want them to be super meek. And I'm like, get out of here, man. It's a fight. They trying to take each other's head off in the ring. And Errol needs to be more humble. And Errol's one of the most humble fighters out here. When Errol says he can beat a guy, he needs to humble himself. And Shakur needs to humble himself. And Danny Jacobs needs to humble himself. Again, I understand if you don't like the Adrian Broner arrogance, the Adrian Broner cockiness, the arrogance, ignorance. If you don't like the Adrian Broner ignorance, not arrogance, ignorance, then I understand that, because Adrian does a lot of things that's over the top, that's absolutely ignorant. But y'all want the Charlos to be super nice and hi. You want them to be super nice and hi, nice to meet you. I'm so gracious to be in front of you. I'm so, I don't know if I'm gonna win. I'm scared I might lose. Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Listen, man, if I'm going into something and I know I work my butt off, I'm not going to go into something like, I don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to, I don't know. I don't know if I'm, man, no, man. I work my butt off for this. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to give it all I got. I train my butt off for this. I'm not going to be kissing my opponent's feet, bowing down to him, to appear more humble to make everybody else feel good. Man, forget all that. It's about you. It's about that fighter in that ring. It's about that fighter. They got to do what's best for them. If that confidence that they display gives them an edge in the ring, so be it. But all this expectation, you want them to be bending over backwards, to be super, super nice. Like, get out of here. And all great boxers are arrogant. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what y'all say. All great fighters are arrogant. Why? Because it takes something in a fighter. When Oscar De La Hoya was fighting until he almost was 40, it takes something in him. It's arrogance in him to say, you know what, I can still beat these young boys. I can still fight these young boys. Bernard Hopkins, it's arrogance to still be fighting at 50 years old. Roy Jones Jr., late 40s. It's arrogance to still be fighting at 40-some years old. It's arrogance for Roy to move up to say I can beat heavyweights. That's arrogance. For real. Seriously. It's arrogance for Canelo Alvarez to feel like he could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. at a young age like that. It was arrogance for him to feel like that. Absolutely arrogance. I don't care what you try to dress it up as. Oh, these guys, you know, these other guys are super humble and look, no, man. Canelo arrogant, Oscar arrogant, Triple G arrogant, Lomachenko arrogant. All these fighters are arrogant because they have to be. They have to be. They can't come in there unsure of themselves. They're going to get knocked out. They're going to get hurt badly if they are. You got to be confident. All them dudes that was unsure of themselves, I saw them go in there with Mike Tyson and get their head spent off or spent around like the Exorcist. I saw it, man. I saw it. So all this, you know, black fighters got to be super gracious and bowing down to their feet and all of that, and they got to go out of their way to be extra humble. They can't even say that they're confident in their abilities. They can't even say that they think they're gonna win. If they say they gonna win the fight, they arrogant to people. And I'm like, get the hell up out of here. Seriously? This is what we turn into? That's what we resorting to? Seriously? Come on, man. Like, it don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Deontay Wilder say he can beat this guy, he can beat that guy, he can beat Anthony Joshua. He said he was gonna beat Dominic Breazeale. He said he's gonna beat Luis Ortiz. He was always arrogant. Always. Tyson Fury off of a layoff, right? He gained over he was up to 400 pounds. He said he's the best fighter in the world. Oh, you know, it's cool though. Those are the same thing. Seriously. And Tyson Fury is arrogant. But guess what? That's great for him. That he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be. The man lost all that weight to come back and fight. And was in a war with Deontay Wilder. And really, if it was on points, he would have won the fight. He would have won the fight, and he not supposed to be like that. Like, come on, man. That's what had him in the fight the whole time, because he was arrogant in his mind and feel like, you know what, I can still fight this guy. Seriously, like, that's why Deontay Wilder is arrogance is why Deontay Wilder rose from oblivion to become the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Didn't come from a boxing family, had no boxing background at all, picked the sport up super late, but he made it to be a champion despite people saying he's wild and unorthodox and he's clumsy and he throws windmill punches and he's sloppy and all of that. Despite all of that, he still got the belt. He's still undefeated. He's WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Fighters need that. All fighters need that. But I want y'all to stop saying that every black fighter that's confident in their abilities. Y'all, I need y'all to stop saying that every black fighter that is like that is arrogant. Stop it. It's like man, it kills me. It kills me. Machiavelli Mills TV. Peace.